Welcome to Careers and Jobs in the USA, number 1, Civil Engineers. Learn about careers and jobs in the United States of America and improve your American English with Maestro Sersea. What do civil engineers do? Civil engineers conceive, design, build, supervise, operate, construct, and maintain infrastructure projects and systems in the public and private sector, including roads, buildings, airports, tunnels, dams, bridges, and systems for water supply and sewage treatment. Many civil engineers work in planning, design, construction, research, and education. Civil engineers, specialization areas. Construction engineers manage construction projects, ensuring that they are scheduled and built in accordance with plans and specifications. These engineers typically are responsible for the design and safety of temporary structures used during construction. They may also oversee budgetary, time management, and communications aspects of a project. Geotechnical engineers work to make sure that foundations for built objects ranging from streets and buildings to runways and dams are solid. They focus on how structures built by civil engineers, such as buildings and tunnels, interact with the earth, including soil and rock. In addition, they design and plan for slopes, retaining walls, and tunnels. Structural engineers design and assess major projects, such as buildings, bridges, or dams, to ensure their strength and durability. And transportation engineers plan, design, operate, and maintain everyday systems such as streets and highways, but they also plan larger projects such as airports, shipports, mass transit systems, and harbors. Civil engineers, work environment and work schedules. Civil engineers work in a variety of locations and conditions. When working on designs, civil engineers may spend most of their time indoors in offices. However, construction engineers may spend much of their time outdoors at construction sites, monitoring operations, or solving on-site problems. Some jobs may require frequent relocation to different areas and offices in job site trailers. Civil engineers who function as project managers may work from cars or trucks as they move from site to site. Many civil engineers work for government agencies and government office buildings or facilities. Occasionally, civil engineers travel abroad to work on large engineering projects in other countries. Work schedules. Civil engineers typically work full-time, and some work more than 40 hours per week. Engineers who direct projects may need to work extra hours to monitor progress on the projects, to ensure that designs meet requirements, and to guarantee that deadlines are met. Civil engineers, how to become one, Part 1. Civil engineers need a bachelor's degree in civil engineering, in one of its specialties, or in civil engineering technology. They typically need a graduate degree and licensure for promotion to senior positions. Although licensure requirements vary by state, civil engineers usually must be licensed if they provide services directly to the public. Civil engineers, how to become one, Part 2. Important qualities. Decision-making skills. Civil engineers often balance multiple and frequently conflicting objectives, such as determining the feasibility of plans with regard to financial costs and safety concerns. Urban and regional planners are often look to civil engineers for advice on these issues. Civil engineers must be able to make good decisions based on best practices, their own technical knowledge, and their own experience. Leadership skills. Civil engineers take ultimate responsibility for the projects that they manage or research that they perform. Therefore, they must be able to lead planners, surveyors, construction managers, civil engineering technicians, civil engineering technologists, and others in implementing their project plan. Math skills. Civil engineers use the principles of calculus, trigonometry, and other advanced topics in mathematics for analysis, design, and troubleshooting in their work. Organizational skills. Only licensed civil engineers can sign the design documents for infrastructure projects. This requirement makes it imperative that civil engineers be able to monitor and evaluate the work at the job site as a project progresses. That way, they can ensure compliance with the design documents. Civil engineers also often manage several projects at the same time, and thus must be able to balance time needs and to effectively allocate resources. Problem-solving skills. Civil engineers work at the highest level of the planning, design, construction, and operation of multifaceted projects or research. The many variables involved require that they possess the ability to identify and evaluate complex problems. They must be able to then use their skill and training to develop cost-effective, safe, and efficient solutions. Speaking skills. Civil engineers must present reports and plans to audiences of people with a wide range of backgrounds and technical knowledge. This requires the ability to speak clearly and to converse with people in various settings, and to translate engineering and scientific information into easy-to-understand concepts. Writing skills. Civil engineers must be able to communicate with others, such as architects, landscape architects, urban and regional planners. They also must be able to explain projects to elected officials and citizens. Civil engineers must be able to write reports that are clear, concise, and understandable to those with little or no technical or scientific background. civil engineers, licenses, certifications, and registrations. Licensure is not required for entry-level positions as a civil engineer. A professional engineering (PE) license, which allows for higher levels of leadership and independence, can be acquired later in one's career. Licensed engineers are called professional engineers (PEs). A PE can oversee the work of other engineers, approve design plans, sign off on projects, and provide services directly to the public. State licensure generally requires a degree from an ABET accredited engineering program, a passing score on the Fundamentals of Engineering (FE) exam, relevant work experience, typically at least 4 years working under a licensed engineer, a passing score on the Professional Engineering (PE) exam. The initial FE exam can be taken after earning a bachelor's degree. Engineers who pass this exam commonly are called engineers in training (EITs) or engineer interns (EIs). After meeting work experience requirements, EITs and EIs can take the second exam called the Principles and Practice of Engineering. Each state issues its own licenses. Most states recognize licensure from other states, as long as the licensing state's requirements meet or exceed their own licensure requirements. Several states require continuing education for engineers to keep their licenses. The American Society of Civil Engineers offers certifications in coastal engineering, geotechnical engineering, ports engineering, water resources engineering, and other fields. Additionally, civil engineers can become certified in building security and in sustainability. Civil engineers pay. The median annual wage for civil engineers was $88,570 in May 2020. The median wage is the wage at which half the workers in an occupation earned more than that amount and half earned less. The lowest 10% earned less than $56,160, and the highest 10% earned more than $144,810 per year. Civil engineers typically work full-time, and some work more than 40 hours per week. Engineers who direct projects may need to work extra hours in order to monitor progress on projects, to ensure that designs meet requirements, and to guarantee that deadlines are met. Civil engineers job outlook. Employment of civil engineers is projected to grow 2% from 2019 to 2029, slower than the average for all occupations. As current U.S. infrastructure experiences growing obsolescence, civil engineers will be needed to manage projects to rebuild, repair, and upgrade bridges, roads, levees, dams, airports, buildings, and other structures. A growing population likely means that new water systems will be required, while at the same time aging, existing water systems must be maintained to reduce or eliminate leaks. In addition, more waste treatment plants will be needed to help clean the nation's waterways. Civil engineers will continue to play a key part in all of this work. The work of civil engineers will be needed for renewable energy projects. Thus, as these new projects gain approval, civil engineers will be further involved in overseeing the construction of structures such as wind farms and solar arrays. Although state and local governments continue to face financial challenges and may have difficulty funding all projects, some delayed projects will be completed to build and maintain critical infrastructure, as well as to protect the public and the environment. Civil Engineers Summary. 2020 median pay, $88,570 per year, or $42.58 per hour. Typical entry-level education is a bachelor's degree. Work experience in a related occupation, none. On-the-job training, none. Number of jobs available in 2019, 329,200. Job outlook, 2019 to 2029, 2%, which is slower than average. And employment change between 2019 and 2029 is 5,500. Citation: Bureau of Labor Statistics, U.S. Department of Labor, Occupational Outlook Handbook, Civil Engineers. Visited April 14th, 2021. Thank you for watching this video, and I strongly suggest that you do further research on civil engineers online and by visiting the website listed above.